just want to see that you're the same level as everything else. Okay, you're way too quiet.
I can
Give me a
say.
sec. I'll see if I can turn you up.
Yeah. Oh, it's starting! It's exciting. I want another Meepo pick, that was great.
I imagine that Meepo will be banned this game. Okay, we are live, this should be working, we're on a delay now, so it'll be another couple of minutes.
Meepo first ban.
Yeah, not a surprise. So, second game, Sheffield Bath. This is Group C, have I got that right?
D.
Is this Group C or D?
This is Group D. This is my group, actually.
Okay, so you're getting a head start.
Yeah, a little bit.
Seeing what's
Not
going
playing
on.
10
yet.
seconds remaining.
So, the Meepo
5
first ban.
seconds remaining.
From,
I'm already scared of Spartan Storm after that Meepo.
Yep.
Reserve time.
I wonder if I wonder whether he's just a Meepo spammer or whether he's significantly better than the rest of his team. I guess we'll see
Dire team ban.
based on what he plays this game. The Ember Spirit ban has been a first ban Ember Spirit in both of these games. What do you think about that?
I don't know, it's kind of weird, to be honest. Was it
Yeah.
Ganker's Cramp who banned it both times?
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, I mean, I understand them banning it if they were
5
planning on picking
seconds
Meepo,
remaining.
but they can't pick Meepo this time anyway.
It might just be that they don't like playing
Reserve
against
time.
Ember.
Yeah, it is super annoying. I don't think it's massively strong right now, but it is one of the better kind of late game fighters and split pushers, and it is very good early as well, so I can understand it. It's just not like, why was Death Prophet ignored in that last game? That's my number one question. Do you think that's going to stay like that this game?
Radiant team ban.
Oh, sorry, give me 2 seconds, I'm just on the desktop. Right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Don't know. I really don't. I tuned in a little bit late to the last game, so I missed the drafting phase, but
Yeah, Death Prophet completely ignored.
10 seconds.
pretty strong mid, especially with Meepo now out of the pool as well, if that is Spartan Storm. Spartan Storm's main hero.
I thought I was expecting the Death Prophet last pick, and instead we got the Meepo. The Meepo was the last pick of the last pick of the game, where Death Prophet was still available, and they needed a mid, and they needed someone that could push, and they needed a ranged hero. So I thought it was going to be a Death Prophet. OD was already banned,
10
Oh,
seconds
he's banned
remaining.
again.
which is not a surprise, I don't think.
5 seconds
OD's
remaining.
just can be so stumpy.
Radiant team pick.
It's going to be a first
True.
pick Dazzle again, but by the opposite team this time.
Radiant team pick.
Nothing unusual about the draft so far. Both pretty straightforward supports. Maybe... Actually, I don't know. What do you think about Invoker now after the nerf?
I think he's still a strong hero, but it just takes his late game and like his exhort combo from almost unbeatable when it's snowballing to fine, which I
10
think is a big
seconds
difference.
remaining.
I think he's still. I think
5 seconds remaining.
Quas Wex is still
Dire team
pretty
pick.
much as strong as it was before. Not really much different. But he's definitely not as strong as he was before. I'm not even sure his first pick material anymore. I'm not sure whether he's first pick and ban material anymore. We did see him banned in the first phase last game, I think. Not banned so far this time. There's a lot of control coming out already
10 seconds
from the Sheffield
remaining.
side. Spirit Breaker, Shadow Shaman.
Avenger's a good pickup as
Dire
well.
team ban.
Yep, so this is potentially all 4 supports already, so all the remaining picks and bans potentially going to be cores.
Especially after they've just banned out a load of cores as well, so it's going to make the pool even smaller.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah,
Anyway, both teams getting their selection of
5
supports.
seconds remaining.
yeah, the PL is another bizarre early
Reserve
ban.
time.
Apparently my level was quite high.
Your volume is high.
Yeah, apparently anyway.
Okay, fine, give me a second. Okay, hopefully that's better.
Radiant team ban.
Testing I guess.
Dire team ban.
Undying, last game, I don't feel like had a great deal of impact. What do you think of Undying right now?
10 seconds.
I think there's
remaining.
stronger offlaners. Undying is very much.
Radiant
Well,
team
I say
ban.
there's stronger offlaners. I don't think he's a bad pick per se, but
Yeah.
definitely other things.
I was surprised to see the Undying off lane last game.
10 seconds
Oh,
remaining.
sorry, let me just mute my phone.
Right.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, well, no, like I said, it's not a
Reserve time.
completely terrible pick, but maybe I don't think that offlaners that I would have picked. Void's quite a strong offlane now.
Yep. Again, that was totally ignored in the last game. We've seen another couple of the same
Radiant
bans,
team
Broodmother
pick.
and Ursa, both banned last game.
I'm kind of surprised by some of these bans. They're letting things like the Venge, the Invoker,
Dire team
well, the
pick.
Gankers isn't going to go for that Void now. If they were going to go for it. To be fair, having a Spirit Break on the team probably would have been a good idea anyway. But, that being said, it's... bans are quite strange. Some of them make sense, some of them don't. Like, obviously, the Meepo bans because of last game. The Ember Spirit in a Phase 1 ban, kind of weird to me.
Yeah,
10
I don't
seconds
know if it's
remaining.
kind of a reflection of the type of games
5
that
seconds
the guys
remaining.
play a lot. This is like a 2.5k average game, I guess.
Radiant
Does that sound
team
about right?
pick.
2.7 average. So.
So I guess maybe it's just that, you know, there are Ursas and PLs that stomp in pubs at that level pretty often.
Yeah.
And they are difficult heroes to play against, like the Broodmother, the Ursa, the Phantom Lancer, the Ember Spirit are all heroes where you need to, you know, be comfortable and
Dire
know
team
what
pick.
exactly how you want to play against them to not be completely rolled over and
Yeah.
just to not have to bother dealing with that stuff.
That being said, you were on about well, brought up the MMR, or the average MMR.
Yeah.
Meepo last game, not a hero you'd ever see in that bracket, and now they just picked a Visage.
Yeah,
Don't really see an awful lot either, especially in that tier.
I think that's going to be a mid Visage
10
played by the same guy that
seconds
played
remaining.
Meepo last game. That's what I'm going to say.
I think so too.
5 seconds remaining.
Which is super unusual. Not anything you ever see in kind of higher level competitive
Reserve
games, but it's
time.
definitely something that in pubs can just throw out ridiculous levels of damage, can just take over the map. You know, Visage can be ganking in 2 places at once, throwing birds down in 1 place and throwing down the soul assumptions for the super damage in the other.
Right, so if we're assuming that's a mid, Gankers are looking for a safe lane.
Yeah, it could be a safe lane or an off lane. They could have the Bristleback in either of those positions, really. I wonder if there's anything that... I wonder if they want to get some more minus armor. It wouldn't be a surprise if they pick up something else for minus armor here. They can't have the Dazzle. It's unlikely that they'll be getting the Shadow Fiend.
Well, that being said, Dire at the moment have quite a bit of armor reduction.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Radiant
so
team
they're
ban.
not interested in losing that mid lane this time.
Yep, nice safe Viper pick.
Dire team
The Void
ban.
gets banned out, they're not going to go for it.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that they're probably going to be still looking for a safe lane if they're banning out the offlaner.
Yeah. Bath last game. They played
10
against a
seconds
Meepo.
remaining.
They know that Cancer is on the cards, so they've got no qualms about
5
picking the Viper this
seconds
time.
remaining.
Void ban. There's only 18 seconds of reserve time left for Bath here.
Reserve time.
Only a ban, you just ban a strong safe lane.
10
Think-
seconds remaining.
Yeah, Spectre,
Yeah,
there you go.
Spectre is pretty sensible,
Radiant
I'd say.
team pick.
And they'll just pick up the Juggernaut. So
Dire
they had
team
it last
pick.
game. It worked fine. Didn't really have chance to have a big impact. Kind of died a few times early in the game, and just because of the Meepo, loads of space was made for the Juggernaut afterwards. Let's see if Visage can kind of achieve the same thing this time. It is going to be a pretty similar game in the planned
10
playstyle, I
seconds
suppose.
remaining.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit like a quiet 10
5
minutes followed
seconds
by,
remaining.
well, a couple team fights,
Yeah.
obviously. But I don't know, last game I was kind of surprised, especially the Spirit Breaker pickup,
Ooh.
that gankers were so quiet.
Filthy Luna pick. I really, really like this. So this is giving... So the stage in the game that it all started going wrong for last game was, you know, about 15 minutes when Meepo started finding kills all over the place. And this time
Oh, I think someone's DC'd.
we should be able to pause when we get in. But at this point, this time it'll be Bath 10-15 minutes when they've got reasonable levels and they've got a couple of points in the auras on the Venge and the Luna. They should be able to gather up, probably with a mech on the Viper, some heals on the Dazzle, hopefully a Blink Dagger on the
10
Slardar, and it's going to be a
remaining.
very, very difficult time stopping the push.
5
They've got
seconds
good sustain,
remaining.
they've got loads and loads of damage, physical damage as well, all of it. The
Yep.
only magic damage pretty much in the game is from the Viper and from the Eclipse. So it doesn't look like we've got
Prepare
DC.
for
We look pretty
battle.
good. I'll quickly run through the Dire side. We have Timbernaut playing the Viper, going mid again. We have DK Zephyr on the Luna, going top lane. Confused Panda on the Vengeful Spirit. Papa Smurf on the Dazzle, and Invincible Gypsy playing the Slardar. Over on the Radiant side, we have IB Hairman playing the Bristleback. Spartan Storm on the Visage. Je Auditor playing the Spirit Breaker. Alicia once more on the Juggernaut, and Morrigan on the Shadow Shaman. So we are seeing Spartan Storm going mid lane with the Visage.
And heroes in that top rune.
Yeah,
30 seconds
everyone wants to
battle.
top ring this game. There was no clash last time. AA was thinking about it, but hoping to distract each other
Good fun, have
with
luck.
with the typing just before the rune spawns. The level 1 fight here looks very, very good for the Radiant. It's pretty good for both teams, but with the spin, with the
The
shackle from
battle
Shadow Shaman,
begins.
we're going to try and focus down the Visage at the front here, but I don't think it's going to happen. The Viper, a nice crush from Slardar, I think, hits onto 4, but now the Soul Assumption from Visage takes away so much health from the Viper, and he gets taken down. The Slardar gets another good crush. Will they be able to take out the Bristleback? They will, but not before they lose the Slardar themselves. It ends up being a 2-for-1. The First Blood does go for Sheffield on the Radiant side. Bristleback gets the rune as well. Bot rune is actually still there, so it looks like it'll be double runes and First Blood and a kill advantage for the Radiant. Slardar is trying to find his way over, but I don't think he'll be there before the Spirit Breaker.
That's, even with the Bristleback dying there, he got a pretty good end of the deal. You look at the amount of XP he got off that rune and that one kill. He's already at level 2 now, more or less.
Oh, could you just take over for a second? I've just realised that my stream title never updated and it still says I'm playing Borderlands. Give me a second, I'll try and keep the camera good.
Pretty standard stuff. Got Bristleback patrolling the jungle. Nothing really going on. He's probably going to be a little bit quiet, especially considering the amount of anti or armor reduction that they've got on the side of Dire. Bottom lane, Slardar's okay to just sit in proximity and get his XP, not really going to make any big fuss. Again, with the Shadow Shaman and the lockdown, it's... Mid lane,
Yeah,
Viper's
Visage,
giving quite
yeah,
a lot more harass this time.
taking loads and loads of time. This is definitely going to be a good lane. Even though the Visage is ahead in XP right now, I don't really think that Visage can do anything to even slow down the Viper. CS so far only a little bit in Viper's favour, but I'm not sure how big the skill advantage would have to be to make a Visage beat a Viper in this lane, but so far it doesn't look like it's quite high enough.
Ace top rune.
A
Spirit Breaker's gonna come round, yep.
And and the stun
Oh.
is available from Venge. That's in the mid lane.
Oh, they're going to be able to
Viper
get the
is
last hit.
very, very low. Spirit Breaker is actually moving faster than the Viper is, and they will just about get it. Meanwhile, top lane, Bristleback does die to the Dazzle. Did manage to surround him and hit him with a big Shadow Wave there. Bristle, that 1 point in the E. Not quite going to be enough. Bot lane Juggernaut, not really able to zone out the Slardar, but the Spirit Breaker charge is coming in. The spin goes out way too early from Juggernaut, and it's not actually going to connect with this at all. Slardar will just be able to run away with the sprint.
I'm wondering, it's been a minute and neither rune has been taken.
Yeah. Neither of the mid laners, I mean, not really bottle carriers, I suppose. Visage just picked up a bottle, so I imagine might be moving over to collect one. Viper hasn't got one coming out either. Probably doesn't need one, to be fair. I think it'll be a while before Visage can actually start doing any reasonable damage to him anyway, so...
Spirit Breaker's just got it now, I think. Yeah, he just pinged it out. He'll probably take that. Well, that's it. The mid laners don't need it. I'm surprised there's been no support move over. Just get that little bonus.
Yeah.
Hey Dota, it's been nearly a minute and both couriers have not been upgraded.
Yep.
Oh, face this Rex. Face this Rex on the side of Dire. We'll get a charge coming out mid lane. Gonna be okay there, I think.
Yep. Viper does actually manage to get quite a bit of damage back onto the Spirit Breaker, who stops in his tracks. I don't think this slow will quite be enough. There's no poison touch on the Dazzle, so they won't be able to get themselves quite up onto that high ground just yet.
Viper just picked up his bottle as well.
So boss on both mid laners now. Visage does find the bounty. There's an Arcane Rune bot, which probably isn't going to do that much for either hero. Spin does actually miss a lot of the damage onto the Slardar, but Morrigan on the Shadow Shaman gets the Shackle. Extremely, extremely strong, even
Dire's
at level
bottom
1.
tower is under attack.
2.75 seconds. Disable.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, there's rune top lane. Well, not rune, sorry, a ward. Just out the range. Oh, just out the area. Entry.
Oh yeah, there was an attempted D-ward from the Dire.
Bad luck.
The early game, the Bristle has actually really struggled in this lane. This is a lane that I would expect to go a lot better. I know it's against the Luna Venge Dazzle. Does make it very difficult, but Bristleback having a very hard time. It managed to hit level 4, but only on 6 CS right now. Luna way ahead at 27 to 12, so got a lot of denies as well. Slardar doing marginally better, but level 5, 3 points in the crush, has boots. Now there's another charge.
Charge coming
going
out.
to the Viper mid. Again, I'm not sure this is going to be the kill. Actually, with the Familiars, if they manage to get the Familiars in range, the physical damage might be enough. And now Dazzle is here on the side, and they're actually just going to try and solo the Dazzle instead, and they will get him. It will be a kill for the Viper. Yeah, he will get Spirit Breaker, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he tries to throw the Familiars back towards the Viper right now and follow up with the Soul Assumption. He's just going to have to get the Familiars away. But Viper does need to be very careful. Now the Visage managed to make his way all the way up to level 6. Level 7 now, in fact, so the 3 points in Soul Assumption, 4 points in Soul Assumption. 1, 0, and 3. I'm sure they were hoping to... I'm sure that Bath were hoping to do more damage to this Viper than this. Sorry, to the Visage than this, but... Now there's another charge coming through. He's eating a Tango, he's bottling up, and now it looks like the Viper is going to be going down here. He's only got the 1 point into his E, and actually he's going to survive.
There's going to be a TP in.
Yep, and this is going to be another kill into the Spirit Breaker. He's not going to have to charge away in time. There's going to be one more tower hit. Viper will actually get it with a poison. I thought that the 1 point in Corrosive's game wasn't going to be enough, but I think the Soul Assumption was thrown without quite enough damage going out beforehand. I don't think that was a 6 charge Soul Assumption, so Viper just survives by the skin of his hideous green teeth.
Not just that, this lane was going quite favourable for Visage, given, you know, the matchup. With those two, like, feeds the other directions sort of just balanced it, if not put it back into Viper's favour.
Well, Viper, oh wow, Visage finds the Slardar in the river.
Oh, well there we go, he's back level, I guess.
I mean, Visage is very behind in CS. He's got 30 in CS, so Viper's 35 right now. But obviously, getting the levels, getting the familiars, he just comes online in a very different way to the Viper. Now, he's hit level
Radiant's
7.
middle tower is
Viper is
under
at
attack.
8. He's trying to push forwards. Looks like the Viper will be going for the mech. He's just got a casual ring of regen on him right now, and he will be able to pick up an arcane rune top. I don't know if he'll be able to find a kill with this, maybe. He can just get out of Viper striking as many attacks as he wants, but it's going to be hard against the...
That ward's expired top. Maybe a gank on their offlane, but...
Bristle has actually found quite a bit of room with these rotations now. He's found another 5 CS since the last time we looked at him, but Luna has already used the Eclipse once. It's about to come off cooldown again. Bristle's still pretty fragile with only the 1 point in his E. He's now making his way top. The ominous flattening of the Familiars is going to mean a very, very quickly dead Venge. Familiars get the last hit just after the Soul Assumption lands. Now picks up the medallion. The game is about to get very, very difficult for anyone that likes being alive on the Bath side, I think. Dazzle, only level 3. We saw it last game. The tri-lane heroes finding it extremely, extremely hard to find XP in. With the Venge and the Dazzle leaving the top lane for the Luna to solo, they've just fallen so far behind. I don't know if it's the same for the heroes on the other side though. It's 4-4 on the Spirit Breaker and the Shadow Shaman. So not great for them either. I thought that maybe the rotations would have worked out a little bit better for them.
Point actually, I didn't really even register the levels on the Spirit Break. He should be 6 by now.
Denied.
Oh, and a nice deny there. Dazzle gets right under the Visage's nose, and Viper taking so much damage. He's still only got the 1 point in his Corrosive skin, but the Dazzle, well played there, gets off the Shallow Grave in time. I'm not even sure the Viper would have died anyway, maybe if the Familiars had have followed really fast, but Dazzle and Venge, perfectly timed rotations from the two of them. They get a kill onto the mid laner. Hopefully they should be able to do a little bit of damage to the tier 1 as well now. Got a bird hanging around to try and drag away the creep wave. Now Bristle trying to get up in the Luna's face, but Luna is just following him around and doesn't even need to use the Eclipse for this. In fact, the minus armor from the amplified damage and the Howl really stacks up quickly. And now mid lane, Shadow Shaman has managed to get a long shackle onto the Viper and followed up with the Hex. I'm not sure this is actually going to be enough damage. Oh, with the medallion though, the Soul Assumption going up the hill, it will be.
Ooh.
Just about. Spirit Breaker was there to secure it anyway if that wasn't enough, but Viper a little bit too confident there.
Radiant's top tower is under
Lockdown from the
attack.
Shadow Shaman was enough. He also has a smoke in his pocket, so we'll see if they want to go for another rotation soon. Another charge going towards top, but if he charges into the middle of the Slardar and the Luna can just pretty much ult and take him down on her own, and he will realise that and back off.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Bot lane, Alicia on the Juggernaut is pushed down the tier 1.
Dire's
Creeps
bottom
are pushed
tower
up to
is
the
under
Dire
attack.
tier 2, so he's just gonna get into the trees. Start farming up some neutrals. Meanwhile, mid lane, Dazzle, who is hanging around trying to find XP, goes down to the Visage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Juggernaut has an ult, so anyone down here does need to be really careful. Can definitely take out the Venge with relative ease here. Does have quite a bit of health thanks to the power treads, but Juggernaut will have enough mana for the ult and spin combo. He's trying to get in range here. The Venge. God, there's so many V heroes. Visage, Viper, and Venge. Venge realizes the danger. Moves towards mid. Dazzle is here. The supports again just struggling so much with levels, and now he's trying his hardest to find someone just in time. But the Dazzle with the Shallow Grave should be able to turn this around for another kill, but Shadow Shaman moving to the top of the hill, but he doesn't have any points in either shot. That would have been enough to take down the Viper. In return, he manages to get a couple of hits out onto the Spirit Breaker. Visage throws the Soul Assumption way up to the hill to take out the Viper. It ends up being a 2-for-1. The mid laner, the Bath, goes down in exchange for the 2 supports from Sheffield, and now Bristleback is here moving forwards. A lot of minus armor coming out from both teams here. But the auras soon enough should start stacking up for the Bath side. They are just a little bit behind in net worth and XP. But it's certainly not at a level that we can't overcome this early. Juggernaut again just needs the Claymore to finish off his Battle Fury, and will get a much earlier level 11 than he did in the last game. It was about 20 minutes until he got it in the last game, but since he was pretty much solo against the Slardar bot for the most part, with the ganks from the Shadow Shaman and the Spirit Breaker going all over the place, he's managed to find a lot more room.
Regeneration!
Viper will just about have enough gold now to finish off the mechanism, so this might be the sign of Bath to group up, but in the meantime, whilst not grouped up, they are without a doubt going to get picked off. Anytime when those heroes aren't together, the Spirit Breaker is going to be there, the Shadow Shaman is going to be locking them down,
Dire's top tower
Visage
is
is
under
just going to
attack.
have huge bursts. Now is the time, I think, that the Dire are going to be coming online. This is where they're going to be really strong, and they need to realise this and
Radiant's middle
group
tower
up,
is under attack. Radiant structures
try and take
are
down some
fortified.
heroes.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Take down some towers, take control of the map. Only the Slaughter and the Dazzle mid right now though. Now Juggernaut is running forwards. He's probably going to find a double kill here. Oh, the Slow actually manages to keep him back. He didn't want to risk bouncing into the creep wave. Now 3 heroes mid. What's the Luna doing right now? Just farming up in the jungle. Picks up a Yasha. I don't know whether Luna... I don't know whether the player will be feeling comfortable going into this in the late game. Probably the hardest
Radiant's
carry
bottom
in the
tower
game
is under attack.
on the Luna, and has a lot of support from the team with the Dazzle, with the minus armor from the Slardar and the Venge. But I think trying to go late will just mean that they'll get rolled over. And now Luna doesn't have a TP to get mid, he's slowly walking over, but so many people are going to die in the meantime. The Nether Strike hits on the Dazzle, the Visage manages to burst down the Slardar, and Venge just has to back out. Luna's here and she can't do anything about this anymore. I'm not even sure she can stop this push. The charge will be available. It's available already, in fact. The level 2 Eclipse is there.
Sorry about that, I had to disappear for a second.
That's alright. So, the mech is up on the Viper. It looks like Slardar is probably going for an armlet here, I guess is what the Helm of Iron Wood is going to be going towards. His team though is super low on initiation, and he needs to be the one picking up a Blink Dagger to find that initiation, and so far he's not going for it. And for the side of Bath, I'm a little bit afraid that it's going to be the decision making that is going to be cursing them in this game. The item decision from the Slardar not to go for the Blink Dagger, the fact that they're not going to push up, use these auras, use the mechanism to try and push down some towers and take some big team fights. They feel like they're behind, so they want to avoid these fights, but that's completely the wrong move right now. Go on.
Maybe their thinking's to do with Venge having the swap.
Okay, Venge is being gone on mid lane, another strike is out. Yeah, the soul
Oh dear.
Dire's middle tower
Goes
is
through.
under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
And now Visage, for some reason, is just TPing from right under the tower back to
Dire's middle
his own
tower
tier 1. I
has
think maybe
fallen.
that was a misclick.
Great Dota, boys. Hey Dota, best Dota.
So that's all of the Dire tier 1s going down.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And Bath may be feeling like, after they've had a couple of heroes killed in these skirmishes on the mid lane, that there's just no way they can go and fight. But they definitely need to find one somewhere.
Radiant's
Luna
top
does manage to
tower
push
has
down the
fallen.
top tier 1, so they are getting a little bit from the map right now.
Radiant's
Luna
top
is
tower is
being
under
left
attack.
largely
That's for me.
unhindered in her farm, still a little bit behind the Juggernaut, who has a Battle Fury and will soon be picking up probably a Yasha of his own. Slardar is actually saving up money right now, so he might have changed his mind to switch over to get that Blink Dagger. Bristleback here, level 9. I guess with that Ring of Health he will be going for the Vanguard. Pick up the Vit booster if he wants. Yeah, he actually gets the whole Vanguard now. Spirit Breaker going for the drum. Viper, I don't know what his plan is for his next item. What do you think the plan is for Bath here to try and kind of retake the momentum in this game? Because in the last couple of minutes it's swung pretty violently in Sheffield's favour.
Have to wait and see until the Slardar picks up his blink. See if we can actually get one or two good pickoffs with it. Maybe bring Luna a little bit more into the fight. I know she wants to be farming, but it would be nice to have that right click around, especially
Yeah.
with the aura.
Yeah, I mean the level 13 Luna now has a level 2 ult, 3 points in the aura, full glaives, attacking reasonably fast with the treads and the Yasha. Can actually have a really, really big impact in these fights, and there is the slight problem of the beams hitting the familiars, but it's not going to be that much of a big deal in these fights. I don't think. You should still be able to take down pretty much anyone. I really do feel like Bath should have the advantage if they take a big team fight. They're so scared to do it. There's a counter medallion up on the bench for Spirit now. Does Slardar have his Blink Dagger? Yes, he does, and he's waiting here to fight Bart. Maybe this is what we've been waiting for. The Omni Slash
no,
goes out into the
Viper.
Viper, and he's going to be going down very, very fast. He gets
that
smashed.
was
He
poor
uses his
positioning.
mech, but yeah, he was just out of position there. Dazzle has a level 4 heal, and only the level 1 Shallow Grave, and now it is going to be a very, very hard fight without the damage and the control from the Viper, without the mechanism.
Dire's bottom tower
Like you
has
said,
fallen.
Viper pretty much caught out of position. You really can't afford to be in any way out of step with your team when you're against a Spirit Breaker and now a Shadow Shaman with a Blink Dagger.
Not even that, it was the Jug who launched straight onto him. Especially when he's isolated like that from the rest of his team, the Omni Slash just goes to work.
Yeah, and that's almost an SMY up on the Juggernaut now, so he's getting pretty strong. He's well above anyone else on his team. He's almost 2,000 gold above the Luna right now. With this mid tower
Dire's
going
middle
down,
tower is under attack.
they're going to be going even further ahead. Slardar is here with a Blink Dagger, but he's afraid of going in right now. If you don't manage to get the 9 on the tower, Bristleback is charging forwards, and there is a blink forwards from the Slardar, only gets the catch onto the Bristle. Now the Luna ult is going through, but it's not really hitting anyone quite enough. There's no focus on the targets from the Dire, and now Viper will be able to take down the Spirit Breaker in the end, and the Bristle is down as well, but now Juggernaut and Visage are both left alive. So it does end up being a 2 for 3, but the Slardar and the
Radiant's
Luna
top
going
tower
down
is
the...
under attack.
Unfortunately, it seemed like they were struggling to pick the targets, and when they did, they went on the 2 tankiest heroes there. The Bristleback and the Spirit Breaker just took so long to take down that...
Can't just leave the Visage and the Juggernaut to be damaged like that.
Exactly, yeah. So from that, the Juggernaut will find his SMY. He's now level 15, and in the next fight, it may well have the level 3 Omni Slash available, and he's going to be kicking out huge amounts of damage. Visage has now got the Aghanim Scepter, so the triple familiars are available. Level 13 won't be too long until they're at full level, at full capacity.
That is the group.
Whoa, look at this, stats.
Well,
Dire's top
all the
tower
stats, if
is
you want,
under
it's literally
attack.
just me going onto the challenge and copy pasting.
Hey, it's in the stats box, that's stats. You've seen
Alright,
Sir Action
alright.
stats, anything in that box is stats.
So
stats box.
action stats.
Yeah. Juggernaut here might be able to find the Luna. He's chasing. He's got the phase boots. He doesn't. Hasn't found Vengeance here with the swap, but swapping the Juggernaut into you when he has Battle Fury and an Omni Slash is not really the play.
Oh,
no,
no.
Slardar tried to get over this little cliff and find the stun, but nobody was quite there in time to react. Slardar, a lucky escape there.
Like it's going to be another fight.
Yep, the Serpent Ward's still only level 1, but they are available. The Blink Dagger on the Shadow Shaman can pretty much catch out anyone. I don't know if I've ever seen this. No levels at all in Ether Shock, just Hex Shackles and maxed. Now the Amplified damage.
That's strange.
Amp damage out onto the Juggernaut. He keeps on walking away and then turning forward to try and charge in, and now they're trying to focus down the Bristleback, but here comes the Juggernaut Omni Slash cleaving through everybody. The Luna is taken down straight away. It is at the end of the Eclipse, so all that damage is already out. Slardar is taking a lot of damage here. They need to turn and focus down this Juggernaut. He's doing loads of damage to anyone that he finds. Now he gets off the spin. Slardar gets the bash, but it's not quite going to be enough. It's going to be a double kill for both the Juggernaut and the Visage here. Juggernaut does just about limp away.
Dire's
And the
top
tower.
is under
Yeah, but
attack.
get the tower as well at the end. Juggernaut will
Radiant's
claim
middle
that.
tower is under
And now
attack.
Juggernaut 5k, more than 5k, ahead of the Luna. Venge, the only hero left, didn't even get a chance to use a swap in that fight. Just a tiny little bit of a lack of discipline there. Couldn't really pick the targets that they wanted to go on. They really do need to be taking out the Visage and the Juggernaut. Obviously the Juggernaut was out of the fight for a little while because of the Omni Slash, but it just took so long for them to change targets.
They seem to all be tunnel visioning on different targets, what it seems.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're just going for the heroes that they feel like they can kill the heroes that are out of position, but the heroes that are supposedly out of position, you know, the Spirit Breaker and the Bristleback at the front lines, are really in position. That's where they want to be. They want to be there, distracting you, so that the Juggernaut and the Visage can do whatever they want, and so far in these fights, it's been working pretty much perfectly. Juggernaut now has a Blink Dagger, so these ults are going to get scarier and scarier. He doesn't have one for another 25 seconds. Viper is going for an Aghanim Scepter here. What do you think of that as an item in this game? Do you think there's anything particularly valuable that he could have picked up instead of this, or do you think that just that extra amount of control is going to be the best he can get?
What does his Ags do again? Sorry.
I think it changes the cooldown to 12 seconds, the ult cooldown to 12 seconds, something like that.
What they need to be winning is team fights. Then he's not going to have an opportunity to get two of those off in one team fight.
Yeah, pretty much all of these fights have been, you know,
Pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah, it's been people getting bursted down very, very early. And now it looks like Dazzle's going to be going down here. Slardar attempted to get a stun. It's not going to work. Dazzle does just about get a nice grave off,
swap as well,
sacrifices
team
himself.
support.
These self-sacrificial supports. It's going to allow the Slardar to get away. And now look,
What's up with the
Juggernaut
Juggernaut?
does not care.
I was hoping he'd run into the fountain then. Still, that's
Sheffield-
alright. I think Genghis Khan will take that.
Yep, they are well on their way to a 2-0 victory here.
There is no dishonor in regeneration.
Getting themselves straight onto the board, and now with the minus armor and the huge damage from the Juggernaut, this Roshan is not long for this world.
They got the medallion up as well. So with that minus armor.
And now Bristleback is in the pit too. He's got the Crimson Card on, so despite only being about as far as 2 supports on his team, he's still going to be able to have a decent impact.
Radiant's middle tower is
Juggernaut
under
gets
attack.
the Aegis. Luna is a little bit far forwards here, but Juggernaut doesn't
Game is
catch.
getting very, very hard to win.
Yeah, this
all-
is going to be tough.
All 5 of Radiant's heroes are more farmed than the position on Dire.
Then the bottom 3.
Radiant's middle tower
It's
is
a
under
pretty
attack.
sad net worth chart. Juggernaut's just left alone for so long in this game as well. 220 CS he's managed to rack up.
20, wow.
Now, Juggernaut has an ult, has the Aegis, stood right at the front here, no fears whatsoever. The Crimson Guard will come out from the rest of the back, and now the ult is bouncing through. It did get creeps a few times there, so the Slardar does get saved by the Dazzle, and now Spirit Breaker is taking a lot of damage right here.
Oh.
Luna is actually going to get a triple kill, I think, there. One of the kills does end up being onto the Juggernaut with his ult, and the swap from the Vengeful Spirit. Juggernaut is trying to clean up at the end of here. Viper is back, he's got some more damage. Turn towards the Visage people, get him. But the Familiars look just mowing people down. They do finally take down the Visage
Dire's bottom
for
tower
1,000 gold on the Viper, but it's going to be so hard to take down the Juggernaut during this. He's going to spin and attack the towers, and they need to keep away from these Familiars. They can get killed by these Familiars very, very easily, and now the Viper is going to be stunned at the other side. I don't think this is a one-on-one fight that this Viper's going to be able to take. He gets bashed. Dazzle is here. He does have a heal, so actually the poison now is beginning to do some serious damage, and there. That ends up being a 5-man wipe.
Charge coming out from the Spirit Breaker again. I'm not exactly sure where he wants to go with it.
Don't
I think he's just trying to gain distance with it.
Yeah. So they're hiding by the Familiars here. Oh, the Familiar comes back up and just melts, completely dissolves the Dazzle. My God! Whoo! That was unfortunate. He wasn't expecting that. My oh my, that still does. All in all, should have been a pretty good trade for the Dire. They did lose their tier 3 and took quite a bit of damage on the range racks, but the fact that they didn't lose a range of racks and all die during that was pretty incredible. We saw a very good swap from the Venge to save herself. The Dazzle had a good grave right at the start, with Luna for once managed to get out quite a lot of damage. If that wasn't an Aegis on that Juggernaut, if there wasn't an Aegis on that Juggernaut during that would have been a very convincing win.
Yep, I think the Luna's building her BKB now, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely a BKB.
That's for me.
Drag's complete up on the Viper.
Shadow Shaman has found the level 2 Serpent Wards and now has the single point in Ether Shock along with an Ether Lens. Juggernaut. He's got the Basher, he's got another 1500 gold. He doesn't have Blink for another few seconds, so he won't be able to catch the Dazzle just yet, but however, in the river, poor Vengeful Spirit, I don't think they'll even need to commit an Omni Slash to this. They'll just use the Nether Strike.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And now Slardar is kind of at the front. I don't think they'll be able to find vision on any more of these heroes to get the charge, and the line is drawn. Whoa! Juggernaut is here! He's gonna throw out the ult, and none of the bounces actually go to the Viper. I think the Viper must have been out of vision behind the tree there. The mech comes out, and the Omni Slash is actually used for nothing. I thought that was going to be a really good one. Just eliminate 2 heroes there, but Juggernaut with the Basher not doing massive damage.
Yeah, that was... I want to say lucky on the side of the Dazzle, but he had the shallow grave, so...
Yeah, I thought it'd just be cleave damage bouncing between them, but I presume that Viper was just on the other side of the trees here, and Dazzle was on this side, and it just wasn't bouncing for Viper for that reason, I imagine. Otherwise, it was very bad RNG for the Joker. Now Slardar is at the front. He does need to be careful, but this is a good time for a defense. Luna has the Eclipse, now has the fresh 10-second BKB. There's no Omni Slash available on the Juggernaut. There are the level 2 Serpent Wards. The they're going to have to contend with. And now Slardar at the front. This Dazzle play has actually been fantastic. Manages to save him there. Now Juggernaut is spinning through. There hasn't been an Eclipse just yet. He's going to pop it now alongside the BKB. And there's a lot of bouncing. The Familiars are actually doing so much damage to the Luna right now. It's probably going to be a double kill for the Luna here. The Bristleback, that's not the direction you're supposed to face. You've got Bristles on your back, not on your front, and now the Familiars are going to be coming back up, but Luna will just turn her attention towards them. They need to make sure that they get these Serpent Wards down. What a fantastic fight for Bath. Hot heck. They lose the range racks, but they take 5 kills. That is almost a 6k gold swing in Bath's advantage. That was very, very well executed.
Don't think the graph's updated completely. Or if it has, then not doing it justice, because that was huge.
Yeah, the fight recap said that it was like 5,000 gold gained for Bath and 1,000 gold lost for Sheffield, so that was really, really big. I'm surprised that Visage didn't try using his Familiars just at the end there to try and finish off these melee racks through the backdoor regen. Maybe it wouldn't have been enough damage, but yeah, that was a very, very well executed fight. I'm actually so pleased with the Dazzle play this game. This Dazzle has made so many massive shallow graves. I'd say it's very much been the MVP on the Bath team so far.
A little bit of a questionable swap from the Venge. Bringing the Grave was down as well, but overall, yeah, very, very good fight. Lost a couple still, but
didn't see the Venge. What happened? What happened?
So Dazzle put down the Shallow Grave.
Yeah.
Saved the Slardar. The Venge then swapped the Slardar out.
Dazzle.
And basically just became this sort of sacrificial lamb. But I think that would have been better swap targets, either as a way of isolating one of the Radiant heroes or saving the Luna if needs be.
Maybe. I suppose it did allow the Slardar to reinitiate after a regen though.
True.
So, Bristleback is going to be going for a pipe here, which is pretty, I don't know, which doesn't do very much. It stops the Eclipse damage, which has been pretty big. But the Eclipse is important when it manages to focus all the beams on one hero, which the pipe isn't going to do a great deal. Now, Viper slowed the Viper ult in the Poison Touch. Let's get the stun. Now Slardar, they're trying to find a fight here. They're trying to get the Bristles back down as fast as they can, and now the Omni Slash is just pounding on this Viper. The swap forward, Venge making the kind of same mistake again. Luna managed to do a lot of damage to various targets here, but she's taking a lot of physical damage from the Juggernaut. She gets bashed, and now the charge comes through. There's no chance for the Shallow Grave. Actually ends up using it on the Luna just at the end after the Viper goes down, but look at all these bashes.
Oh, no.
This is very, very unfortunate, and Slardar maybe a little bit, I don't know, overconfident there. There's 2 buybacks from the Luna and the Dazzle, but they're the only ones that have it. Now Visage is going to get the bot lane. The Serpent Wards are going to be dropped mid. And if Luna goes down now, which she almost certainly is, it's going to be the end of the game. The Dazzle trying his very best to save. He's still not thrown out the Weave though, and now one more hit into the Luna. That is going to be the end of this game, I'm sure. They needed to wait a little bit longer for that. They used the buybacks and ran in on their own before the Slardar and the Venge were on. Maybe if they were together as 4, they could have done something about that, but now Viper buys back. He uses his Silver Edge to get forward, but they realise what's gone wrong. The good game is closed. And there were definite signs of life from Bath at the end.
Yep.
But unfortunately, Sheffield there with the kind of unconventional picks, the Meepo mid, the Visage mid in the second game, managed to get enough of an advantage that they got that early set. They got that early-ish range rats. They managed to get the Aegis, and even though they lost a couple of fights, they were strong enough afterwards to completely take over very, very quickly. Anything to say? Any comments?
Well, I think the main problem there for Dub or Rocky, if you want to call them, I guess, or Bath, is probably the communication. Like you said, there were signs of life at the end, but they just weren't playing same wavelength I felt at times. Dazzle's play was insane. Venge herself wasn't doing too well, but that's another case of like where the communication's pretty poor. For the Venge using the ult when it wasn't needed, or on the run target.
You know,
Still though, Ganker's Cramp, no, not to take credit away from them, played well.
yeah, Visage 22, 3 and 13 at the end of that. That's a crazy score. I didn't realise that the Visage had been doing so well in terms of getting kills.
Well, that's it. Even in the early game, she wasn't going, or they weren't going for CS. They were going for well, ganks. Going against a Viper is the best you could really do, but it paid off.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks, Murphy, for joining me. This
No worries, mate.
This has been our very first game. There will be more coming up. I don't think we've got any other ones that are definitely scheduled yet, but there'll definitely be a few more games in the next few days. Do you want to plug the Twitter or something?
Yep, give us a follow over on Twitter, UK_Arrow. Posting all the results, all the games, all the groups, everything there pretty much. Any important information or updates.
Okay, cool. That's all from us tonight. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you next time.